Okay, sorry. I wanted to make a quick part two of that video because I was like, again, my beef with networking really stems from a place of I just feel very. mm, I'm not gonna lie, okay? I feel a little bit unsure and not super confident in my ability to have people like me so much that it will give me opportunities. And it's so wrong for me to think that because when I think about the opportunities that were in my life or the blessings that were in my life or anything that is kind of like that, clearly it's because they kind of appreciate me or tolerate me or like me to some extent. Okay, maybe not like me a lot, but just enough where it's like, you know what, I like her, she's good, let's give her that, right? So it's wrong for me to think that way, but it's just like, again, it's just that it gives me pressure. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is why I'm like, I kind of reject it and I'm kind of like beefing with it because I'm like, it is pushed, it is, what you call this, it is pushed so much that I'm like, oh my god, please just, it's chill, like it's not that deep. But it is true, your life can definitely change by meeting the right people. And like I said, like maybe, again, maybe it's because I have a lot of pressure. And I just think that networking, you have to be liked by everybody, and that, no, it does, you don't have to be liked. You really don't. I mean, most of the people that I mean, I've known some very horrible people that had a wide network of people. It's so there's that, but it's not just that, it's also that at the end of the day, it's all about what can you do for people. And not, I know it sounds very bad, but it's true. Like, it's like, how are you useful to them? um what is yeah, how are you useful to them? It's like, uh, how can I say that? Is it does not have to be pushy or aggressive. It's just like, for example, let's say that you know someone from school, right? And you're like, oh, let me give you that opportunity. Like, sometimes it just happens naturally. And I feel like the best networking is definitely when it happens naturally, when you don't have to force anything, you don't have to go to these events. It just happens. It just happens. You meet the right people. And when I say you meet the right people, okay, sorry about that. But like, yeah, I feel like yeah, I feel like it's all about just, yeah, yeah, it's really not that deep. But I just hate how sometimes people just keep pushing it. They keep pushing it, and it gives me like this weird pressure that I must be doing something wrong, that I need that, because I'm not networking, I'm not talking with a bunch of people to get ahead in life. And to be honest, like, I'm cool the way it is. Like, I prefer that, like I said in the previous video related to that topic, is that I prefer that most of my success, most of the opportunities, whatever that I get, it's based on my own effort. I'm not saying that networking is not efforts. It's definitely efforts and hard work for people that are introverted, shy, and do not necessarily want to do that. Okay, so it's definitely it ain't easy. It ain't easy, especially when But I like, you know I prefer it that way. I prefer that most of the things that it's mostly based on my own efforts, right? And technically, when you talk to someone, and, like I said, I have my own quote unquote version of like low effort networking, where it's just kind of like, I just basically try my luck here and there. Like, I kind of sense the opportunities. I'm like, you know, here and there. But for the most part, I don't it's not really something that I seek. It's not really something that's my main focus. Whenever I interact with someone new, I don't think about networking or whatever. I just kind of like, it is like, it's not it's kind of in the back of my mind, because I feel like, I think it's because also I've been conditioned, if I can say that, to kind of work extremely hard, just focus on their hard skill, focus on them so much that, like, for me, that's all I see. all I see is the hard skills more than the soft skills, if that makes sense. And I feel also like, I don't know, I don't know. Okay, sorry about that, guys. But like, yeah, like I guess I got a little bit triggered because there's this book called "Your Network is Your Net Worth." Okay, by Porter Gale or something. There's this book, and okay, fine. I didn't read the book. I didn't read it. I'm gonna read it obviously because it does seems very very interesting and it's very useful. But I'm not gonna lie. I got triggered. I got bothered by this title, and I feel like it's just that the fact that I got bothered by it. I'm like, you know what? I should read it. I should. That title, because for me, it's like it kind of implies that if you don't engage in networking, you are a failed human being. Yeah, that's for me. That's what it means. Okay, and I don't like that obviously because it's not that deep, y'all. Like some of us, some people, they don't want to do all that thing. Some of us, we just want a job that pays enough to put food on the table, travel once in a while, work on our own little like personal or artistic projects, spend time with friends and family, and call it a day. Some of us, we don't want to do all that, right? But again, there are situations in life that kind of forces you to do network, especially if like some people, okay, they don't want to work a 9 to 5. Some people want to be entrepreneurs. So obviously you're gonna need a little bit of networking here and there. But again, I am a firm believer that the best networking is the one that is like 20% strategy and 80% like go with the flow and just kind of like more like low effort, low key type of thing. I don't know. I just don't like this idea of like, just becoming friends with someone for this because you have an agenda. Like just because I know that person will help me get this role or whatever. Like that does not sit right with me. But I know that again, it's a very black and white picture that I'm painting about that. But yeah, I just didn't like that title. But again, I'm not trying to throw any hate or anything. I should definitely read the book, okay? But the title alone just kind of like triggered me, I guess, because I was like, what? Again, because it kind of implies that if you don't network, you have no net worth, right? No social capital. And I don't like that because I'm like, not everybody wants to be socially successful. Yeah, there I said it. Okay, me, I just want to be left the fuck alone. Okay, that's all I'm asking, and honestly, it's working uh, because for because yeah, it's yeah, and also another thing that I kind of like. Okay, sorry about that, guys. The light just went off. Oh, where is it? All right, sorry about that. But like, yeah. So again, yeah. So I don't think that. Um, okay, sorry. Like I don't think that like your worth as a human being should be measured based on how big your network is or how many friends you have or how many associates you have or how many people know you, how many people like you. Your worth as a human being should just measured as you being here and existing. That's it. That's it. Um And some people might be like, "Oh, you only say that because like you're isolated and all that." No, actually, like even if like I had friends and I had a wide network, and even if I was that, even if I had a lot of social capital, if I can say that, I would still be like, you know what, people that are by themselves, isolated, especially if they are adults, usually it's because they wanna. If you see someone by themselves, don't bother them. They are exactly where they are. Okay, I shouldn't make that. No, just forget what I just said. Okay, but some people just rather be alone, or some people are alone because of reasons, and it is what it is. Life goes on. Everybody have a different. it does not make any sense for like every single person to just, I mean, that would be ideal actually if everybody had a friend. That would be nice. But like, yeah, like it's just very fucked up to assume that. But I guess that's just me. That's my interpretation of the title of the book. But it's also because of years of constantly being pressured that networking and soft skills is important. Yeah, like especially like, maybe I'm call me old school or whatever, but especially this stereotype that some women they sleep their way to the top, like they did things with the with someone at the company and they got a job from that. Especially with like that stereotype or that, not the stereotype, but like that just for this because I'm getting tired. That stereotype, okay, that as a woman we don't want to be like shamed, we don't want to be, oh yeah, she got the job because she slept with that guy. And it's like now everybody questions your abilities, everybody questions your come on, your abilities and your credibility, and nobody respects you because a lot of these women they work really hard to get to where they are. It's a mess. And me personally, my stance on that is I kind of don't really care. Okay, like it's so crazy how my moral compass over the years just got a little bit more flexible. um Obviously it's not something that I would engage in ever. I never did and will never. um and it's something that I don't see the point of it also, because if you sleep with someone to get a role at a company, I don't see how that is a smart move. Yeah, it's not just about morality, ethics, and integrity. It's also like, is it actually useful? It's not even that useful. Is the job really worth it? Is the job really fucking worth it? Like to sleep for the gotta ask questions like, is it actually worth it? Is it actually worth it? And if it's worth it, do you understand the risk that comes with it? So this is why I don't understand how some women still engage in that behavior, because if we put aside the integrity, morality, and ethics, okay, oops. Okay, sorry about that. But like, yeah, if we for a minute we put this aside for a hot minute, it's not really a smart move because like there's so many things I want to say about that. But from what I've read, I'm like, it sounds like a risky move to me, or unnecessary risky move. But anyway, so like, yeah, as women I feel like we don't want to be to deal with that. Obviously it's very shameful and it's like, oh my god, like depends on the industry obviously, but I I don't want to be labeled as someone who got the job because I knew someone or I kissed ass, or I don't want to be known as that. It's kind of like, I mean, I shouldn't care, but like, I don't know. I feel like it depends. Like if you, again, like if you're not a career person and it shouldn't be too bad, like I don't really care. But again, for me, it's like, again, I put more emphasis on hard work and all that, and I don't think that. I mean, that kind of opens up the question. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you shouldn't care what people think or say. So it's like, if let's say people are like, well, you just got to where you are in life because you just people just give you a gift and people just do things for you and you didn't have to work a day in your life. Or should I mean, I don't really care because I don't know. I guess this is something I will talk with myself, I guess, because I don't care either way, because even if it's not that, yeah, that's why I shouldn't care about it too much. But I feel like I take pride. I take a lot of pride in being known as being extremely hardworking, being a woman of color, that a woman of color that build herself from the ground up, right? And I feel like it would kind of like step on that if like I start to network and get things handed to me. I'm not saying that networking is that, but sometimes I don't know. Maybe I think definitely I shouldn't judge too much. I should talk too much because I don't know. I have this vision of networking, that networking is like you just talk to the right people and there you go. You have an opportunity. You didn't have to work for it. But I don't know. I'd rather just stick to my guns here. I'd rather stick to me focusing on my hard work, me focusing on what I can produce, my talent, coupled with that with hard work and discipline and all that. I'd rather focus on these things than to bet on networking. Yeah, I'd rather just do that. And also another thing is that another thing that maybe the book talks about this, I should read books about that to have a better understanding. Because right now, I'm not gonna lie, like I said in the first video about that, yes, like I'm coming from a place where it's uncomfortable for me. Networking, social skills, social stuff. It's not that it's extremely uncomfortable for me, but it's just not my cup of tea. So it's like I'm just like, ugh, whatever. Like I just sad eye type of thing. So again, I understand that I'm coming from a place of like just being a little whatever about it, but I feel like another thing that is not mentioned, I guess, but it's also the fact that like let's say that you network, right? You got a position or like, so let's just stick to that because that's the most obvious example. Let's say you got a job because the guy like you, like the boss like you, and like wow, I like you. I'm gonna put you in whatever. It is what it is. Let's get you hired, whatever. Okay, sure. Everything goes well. You didn't have to go through, filling out the application. Sorry about that. You didn't have to do all that. You didn't have to do none of that. It's perfect. Okay, great. But now let's say that you start a job. You start a job, right? And because relationship changes, right? S- relation like relation dynamics, they change over time, right? Most of the time. It's not, maybe they won't change, but let's say for example that dynamics changes. The person that got you the job in a way that it's like you skipped a couple of steps, for example, so like they did a huge favor for you, for example. Let's say that now you got the job, whatever, the project, whatever, and then for some reason the dynamics changes. Now they don't like you like they used to. Okay, something happens, a shift happens, whatever. You start to not like each other, or that person does not like you. Now what? I mean, these are things that happens in life, I guess, but it's just a risk that I don't want to deal with that, right? I don't want to deal with that risk, and it's just I don't want to. No, it's just too much. But again, I just wanted to make another second video that what, like in life, just because you don't want to network or you don't want to do social stuff does not mean that you're a less human being or anything like that. Some people me for example, some people have different life goals, some people have different career aspirations, some people they don't really care about that, and it's okay. um so I guess that's the second part of the video that I wanted to make. Maybe there's something else I want to say, but it's already 20 minutes already, so yeah. But obviously I feel like I'm a little bit ignorant on the subject, and I feel like m- mixed with my previous experiences where I kind of have this almost aversion, okay, to resentment. Yeah, resentment is the better word, I guess. But I have this reticence, this hesitation, this resentment, sometimes even towards anything that has to do with social stuff because of my very bad experiences. That yeah, maybe some of the things that I see comes from a place of not a not so great place. So I do, I'm a little bit ignorant on the subject. I should be a little bit more open-minded. I'm not saying that networking is bad, I'm not saying that. And also like I said earlier, like networking is definitely a very good definitely something that a lot of people should look into, invest in. And sometimes again, some people they do network and they don't even know it, because again a lot of times it just happens naturally, right? If you get along with people, or if people relate to you, whatever. But all I'm saying is that to chill a little bit with the networking, because not everybody wants to be a corporate a corporate titan or whatever. Not everybody wants to be a business entrepreneur. Not everybody wants to be a CEO, okay, or CFO or a manager or boss or whatever. Not everybody wants to be that. Some people like me just want a job that pays just enough and call it a day, okay? I don't care. And as I previously said, again, I should not like my aspirations, they kind of got lower. Basically, they got lower because now I'm like, yeah, I don't want to deal with workplace politics too much because I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm just not. Because for me, workplace politics means that you give a lot of your energy, you give a lot of your emotions, of your mental energy. And for me, this is precious. This is extremely, for me, this is equivalent to like 20K gold. Okay, pure gold. Okay, I would, okay, my emotions, my mental, it is not for to navigate petty politics, okay, especially when I'm not even trying to be in an industry or career field or a role where the politics actually makes sense, okay, because I understand that politics is never, you can never really get rid of politics, unfortunately, okay. So this is why I understand that in certain work environments, in certain industries, in certain markets, it makes total sense to have a lot of politics, to have a lot of ego clashes, to have a lot of alliances and all that thing. But come on now, I'm not trying to be a CEO up in this B, okay, I'm not trying to be a CEO. I'm not trying to be someone with authority. Okay, I'm not trying to be all that. Just leave me alone, please. Okay. So yeah, with that being said, definitely if you're someone like me, definitely do not be close to networking. Just understand that you don't have to pressure yourself. Don't pressure yourself. Don't put pressure. Just go with the flow. Really, that's all I'm gonna say. Just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. So thank you for listening to me. I am Là, j'ai mal à la tête. I have a headache. I need to eat food. What do I have? Mm, yeah, j'ai mal à la tête. I have a horrible headache. After that, I think I'm going to read a book. I have to work out. Mm, yeah, that's it. I have a very nonchalant day, I guess. Mm, yeah, anyway. And also, yeah, well, before I close the video, I wanted to say something because if you look online and you say you write stuff like how to network, for example, how to do networking, they will tell you very basic and no like common sense kind of advices, like kind of social advices. And it's like talk to people in the eye, present yourself, talk about your hobbies, ask them open ended questions. What else? Try to find a bridge of common area so that you create this sense of familiarity so they can remember you. Give them your card that's specifically networking, but all of those things that I've mentioned, it's literally just social skills 101. Like these are things that I already do, especially if you're someone who's naturally good socially, it's like you already do that. So like what is actual networking? Like if we just kind of remove the basic social stuff. I mean, for example, giving them your card, that's I don't have a business card. I don't have that. Why would I? So again, it depends. It depends for everybody. Some people need it more than others. Some people don't need it at all. Some people just need a little bit. And I feel like it's important to not put pressure on nobody about that. Um so like yeah. And I feel like even if someone does not have a lot of friends, a big network around them, they are still a worthy human being. As long as they don't hurt nobody, and as long as if they still give to the community in some way, if they still give back to society in some sort of way, I mean, and but they're alone, like who fucking cares if they don't have a bunch of friends, right? And don't get me started on on how so many evil people they. Anyway, let me not talk about that. Anyway, I'm done talking. I'm just gonna go about my day now. J'ai fucking mal à la tête. J'ai extrêmement mal à la tête. I think after that, I think that I've already been outside already because I walked a lot this morning. So I think now I'm just going to take it easy, and just prepare for the next, for the rest of the week. Really, that's what I'm gonna do. I need to lose weight, as you guys can see. Like I'm very anyway, and nothing is happening in my life. Things got. I have a little bit of breathing room, right? Because I was going through something very tough, and now I can finally breathe a little bit, but I still need to do a lot of hard work, okay? But at least I can give myself like 5-10 minutes to like breathe. And I really want to enjoy the summer. Okay, I realized this. I really, really like last summer. I didn't really enjoy the summer. Last summer, I was going through workplace bullying. It was horrible. I mean, not that horrible because see, I've learned over time that the more I go through some tough times, the more I will give myself like specific days or specific time where I just sit down, I enjoy the nature and all of that. But it was not technically a real summer. I was working constantly. I was going through, I was dealing with people that were just not, yeah. Anyway, so now I want an actual real summer, where I go to the beach or I go to events or I try new restaurants or I do biking. It's been a while since I use a bicycle, and I really want to do that because I used to be you know, I love doing that. Just playing outside, like when I was young. Um, but again, I think that right now, things are a little bit chill, but there's still a few things I have to take care of, unfortunately. But it's okay. It's okay. Um, so that's what something I wanted to talk about, the networking thing. I've been wanting to talk about it. So yeah, and also I may upload a video soon that will be titled few things or 10 things that I've learned about from years of being abused or bullied or whatever. And I know I'm so annoying with that team. It's a recurrent team with me, and obviously there are so many other things that I could talk about, obviously, but I'm like, you know what, I've been wanting for so long to talk about the things that happened to me and all of that, and why the fuck not? And I feel like, yeah, why not? Okay, but eventually I will definitely talk about other things than workplace abuse and bullying and all that, because it's getting, ça devient redondant, but it's a huge topic that I really want to cover. And yeah, yeah, so that's it, I guess. Yeah. Mm. Actually, I'm waiting for someone, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. So anyway, so from there, thank you so much for listening to me. Have a good rest of your day. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.